how you doing? How you doing, Karma babies? We love you. My daughter Deserie and myself, I'm GrannyKarma, and as promised, we are back with part 2 of this video. We're gonna film as much up to date, so you will see us in the same clothes.
We're not changing clothes.
We're not gonna be changing clothes, but we will. You know, down the line, you guys will see us in different clothes. Well, I have this on because this is my hubby's sweatshirt. And I don't know anything, don't ask me anything about football or anything else, but this is one of his shirts and one of his sweatshirts. And there are times when I really need him to be close to me. So you guys know my daughter Deserie, and she's on a journey right now, guys, on a very important, the most important journey of her life, you know, and she's wanting to share this with you. She wanted to let you guys know what's going on. As you know, I had not been on the internet in 6-7 weeks, and the reason is because we were going through this traumatic experience of her being diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, and us just trying to wrap our heads around it, and you know, trying to understand it, and you know, figuring out how she was gonna how she was gonna treat it. So I'm gonna let her know. I'm gonna just ask her. Where we left off was you had talked to the doctor, and the doctor told you about the triple negative.
Mm-hmm. And he told me about the receptors.
The receptors, yeah. Right? Okay.
Ah.
Coco is acting silly, guys, but she just won't leave. Now, what I'd like to know, Deserie, is I think if I was watching this on the other side, you know, something that you don't see a lot when you're looking for this. Tell me, how did you feel in the very beginning until you made up in your mind about, you know, talk a little bit about the receptors. They can go on the internet and they can Google that, and
right.
Then what you saw and how it made you feel.
All right. So, you know, when the doctor said, you know, I asked him, so what's our next step? What do we do next? And he said, well, it all depends on what your receptors are. He said, it is very, very crucial that we find out what your receptors are. And I said, well, how long, you know, what do I have to do? Do I have to do a blood test? He's like, you know, we've already got that. I've already sent it off. He said, I've sent it off express because I need them back immediately because I need to know what's going on. And I said, well, what's worst case scenario versus, you know, I said, what's best case scenario versus worst case scenario? He said, you know, best case scenario is you're one of the 3 receptors, which is, you know, progesterone driven, estrogen driven, or HER2 protein driven. And the worst case is triple negative.
And one thing we're not going to do, guys, she gave you the names, and I really want you to go and look it up. But, you know, we're not going to go into too much detail because we're not doctors, and we don't want to, we don't play one on YouTube.
Yeah.
I gave a joke, didn't I?
You tried to.
So we want you guys to go look it up and, you know, get to know for yourself. But this is just a basis for you guys that, you know, that she's learning and that she did not know about.
Right.
So.
Right.
Okay. So then they told you that it was a triple negative.
So he called back and he said, it's triple negative. And he said, I need you to go see this other doctor as soon as possible. And when he said that, my heart dropped to the floor. Because I remember the last conversation, he said, triple negative is the worst case scenario. And when he said that I have it and I have to go see this other doctor, you know, I'm thinking, what do I got to go see this other doctor for? You know, what's going to happen? Because I didn't know that this other doctor is the one who is in charge of like the chemo and, you know, that stuff. My oncologist is a surgical oncologist. So he does, you know, the lumpectomies and the mastectomies and that stuff. But his specialty is not the chemical toxic whole thing with the chemo.
With the, so you know, that's one of the things that keep you up in the air. You know, you're thinking, okay, am I going to go see this other doctor because I'm going to get more tests and they're going to kind of, you know, whatever they're going to rule out. But no, it was like, bam, you have cancer. Bam, go see this doctor because we're going to get it started like ASAP right now. So you went to see the other doctor.
I went to go see the other doctor, and even before I even saw her, I can't remember. Did I get my chemo port before I saw her or after?
You got the port before.
Yeah,
because
that's how fast everything.
I mean, they you know, that's why, guys, I'm telling you, get the best doctor that you can get. You know, be proactive, ask them questions, and you know, and push them. Don't sit around and wait for them to send you a report or for your next visit. Call them up on the phone and say, you know, that's what my daughter does. What's going on? You know, I did a test such and such and such. What's my test? What are the results? So before that, before her even seeing that doctor, a course had been laid out, and they
had met up already.
They had met the doctors. They form a team, and you know, she was going to take the chemo through a port. Now I'm going to show you pictures of that port, and she can show you. She's going to show you actually. What she has on her top is a chemo blouse. Did you know that, guys, you know, she just went out and did her research. Yeah. They have blouses specifically. You can get the port. Tell them about where you can get the port.
So it all depends on where your cancer is. So for me, it's on my left breast. So they put the port on my right side, on the right side of my chest. Sometimes they put the port in the middle. Sometimes they put it on your left side. So for mine, I gotta sit up a little bit. So for mine, the chemo shirts have zippers, and the zippers make it easy for the doctor to get to your port because your port's gonna sit right here. And the port is so that they don't have to go through a vein every time you get chemo because it'll, what they call is blow out your vein. It'll mesh your vein out because the chemo drugs are so strong. But for me, I got my port put on my right side, and I got a Band-Aid here I'm going to take off because I had chemo yesterday. So I want to show you.
So she had to go through like surgery.
Yeah, so I had to have surgery. And this is my chemo port. You can see it kind of sticks out. It's an actual port that they stick the chemo needle through, and they're able to draw blood, and they're able to put the chemo into the port. And the port actually has a catheter that connects to your jugular vein. And the jugular vein, with the chemo goes through the jugular vein and through the heart, and then it goes through your body. But the scar is like that's the chemo scar from the chemo, from the port surgery. So
Deserie has had, in this 6-7 weeks, she has literally had 3 treatments, guys. 3 treatments before she felt comfortable enough to come on and share. And you know, I couldn't do a video like everything was okay and talking about whatever, because you guys know that I do share with you guys. I share my life and I share my ups and downs. And so she actually has had 3 treatments, right? And 3 chemo treatments
every 2 weeks.
Now, what I really want you to talk about too, you know, I want you to go through the treatments. Okay, so you got the port, right? You have the port. You guys saw that, which is, well, you can't see the port, but it's under her skin. They had to operate, and then they inserted it under her skin. And then, so she went in for her very first chemo treatment. And tell us about that.
So the first chemo treatment, you're scared because you don't know. You don't know if it's gonna hurt when they stick that, needle in you, because it looks like a big fish hook. That's what the chemo port looks like. I mean, the needle, it looks like a big fish hook. And, they put it in your, they put it in your body, in your port, and then it's like a little cord that sticks out. And you don't know, if it's going to hurt when it goes in, if it's going to be cold, hot, if you're going to get sick right then and there. You just don't know. But when I went in, I looked on the internet and I saw that they had like a lanacane cream that you could put on the outside of the port.
This is important, guys. I want you to listen to this. They have a lot of people don't realize it. That because they don't ask, but believe me, she's going to ask anything that's going to be pain relieving for her.
This is a cream.
Turn it up. Is it upside down? It's upside down. Yeah, it's upside down.
No, it's not upside down.
There you go. Look at it. See?
It's not upside down on the.
Okay. Yeah. I guess when it reverses, when you put it in.
Yeah. So that's it right there. And this is a numbing cream that you can get that they can put. That you can put on the port 30 minutes to an hour before before they insert the needle. And you put like a little piece of saran wrap on it. And when they put it in, it literally does not hurt. You don't feel anything. I mean, you don't even feel like you're getting a regular shot. I mean, you don't feel anything. And, they give you medicine for nausea. They give you medicine through your IV, through the port, because it's going through the port. They give it for nausea. They give it for upset stomach before they start giving you the steroid that they have to give you. And then they start giving you the different chemo drugs.
Now, we live far from the hospital. She's not doing the treatment in our little small town. She elected to go where, there a bigger town where there's more doctors that have more knowledge, meaning that they've been doing it longer and they have a reputation of being excellent doctors. So then what else did they give you? Okay, so you had your chemo treatment.
Yes.
And then something that she didn't realize, and that is important message that we want to get to you guys in the second episode, is what they gave you another. So we want to talk to you about that, and maybe you'll be able to show them that too.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, and we're going to go to like maybe 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the third episode. Okay.
So should I show them on?
Yeah, if you like. Yeah. So they gave.
So after the chemo, they give you, which I didn't know. Yeah. They say, hey, we're gonna put this this device on your body. It's a self-administering device. And it's going to go off 27 hours after your chemo. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they said that it will restore my white blood cells because the cancer is destroying all my blood cells. And you have to have white blood cells to be able to continue on your chemo treatment. So
and the chemo destroys.
The chemo destroys all of your blood cells.
All of your blood cells.
Yep. So I was like, okay. So then they messed around with this little contraption or whatever, and then this is what it looks like. It's called Nulesta. Get up.
Okay.
This is what it looks like.
Okay. So that's a device that's attached to her stomach. Could you get it on your arm also? Is that the one that you can get on your arm?
Yeah, but see this one. So when it goes on your stomach, they tape it to your stomach, and then it ticks for like 2 minutes, and then it pops like a rubber band. And that's the needle that's springing the catheter into your stomach. So that's how it's injected, through a catheter. So the needle punctures the skin, the catheter comes in, and then 27 hours later it starts to beep, and then it takes like 45 minutes for it to inject into your stomach.
Go into your stomach. Now, you could do it this way, or you
could put it on the back of your arm.
Or you can go back to the doctor the next day
and get an injection.
So we're so far away. She chose to do it this way by just putting it on. This is her third treatment, so it will go in. Do you know what time it's going to dispense the drug?
It does it 27 hours later.
And 27 hours.
It's going to be at 4:20 today.
4:20 today, and it's going to beep, 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 and she'll know when it's going in. And they suggest that you're laying down and letting it. And it takes 45 minutes for that to go through. Now, before we get off of this part two, want to talk to you really quickly about the very first time it went in and how you felt.
The first time, I thought it was going to be fine. Like the chemo, you know, I was a little sick from the chemo, but I was like, hey, you know, it's expected. It's chemo, you know. You're putting poison in your body to kill these cells, so you expect to be a little sick.
Yeah.
But 5 minutes after this device went off and it was empty, 5 minutes after the 45 minutes that it took, I was in so much pain. My stomach hurt so bad that it was worse than when I gave birth to my daughter. I mean, it was the worst pain I have ever felt in my life. I felt like I had to throw up. My stomach was cramping. It was turning. It was hurting so bad. Then my back, like my lower back, started pulsating like at the very bottom of my spine. But I was in so much pain that I could barely speak. I mean, and it happened so fast, like
and the
literally
thing
5
about
minutes.
it is that this is the point of doing this little documentation.
Yeah.
She wants to be able to document it and to share with you guys because, excuse me, she's moaning. I think she wants to go OUTSIDE. I can't say it because otherwise she'll be on top of my head. But because no one had told her about
And
this.
I didn't see it on the internet anywhere.
She didn't see that. So, you know, here she's going through this excruciating pain and oh my goodness, she was laying in my bed. She was laying in bed with me. And then all of a sudden she got up, you know, after 5 minutes to go and that's when it hit. And it was terrible to see her in such pain. And she, you know, she was throwing up. And to show you another thing, guys, be prepared for things like that. Because you were prepared by having the throw up bags and things like that.
Like this.
Oh, she's going to show you what it looks like.
I got these from Amazon.
Look at that.
You know, just have it. This is like my staple. It goes everywhere with me. It goes to the store. It goes to the bathroom. It's in my bed. It's always next to me because, you know, when it hits, you just don't know, you know, when you're gonna feel sick. So
she had that, and she was in the bathroom with that. She was in the bathroom with that, and I guess it lasted for how long? You
like
think
about
an hour and a half, and then she just simply kind of passed out. You know, went to sleep. But that's something that we wanted to make you aware of. That happened. You know, that she did not see anywhere. She wasn't expecting it. Nobody had told her about it. So guys, that's going to conclude our second part of Deserie's journey. And we want you to remember, what do we want you to remember? How others treat you is their karma. But how you respond, my babies, how you respond is
your karma.
Your karma. So you made it through, 2 episodes already, and we're going to have part 3 coming up, and we're going to do it, you know, in order. So that was her first chemo experience. When we come back, I'm going to ask her to talk to you about, you know, what drugs they gave her, and to go a little bit into that. We're not going to, she may mention the names, but you know, that's what's specific to her.
Exactly.
It may not be specific to you.
It's tailored to everybody different.
Right. So guys, we'll see you in the next video. I hope that you guys come back for that, and we love you, and bye-bye now.
Bye.